So I am really excited to welcome everybody. My name is Mona Raglow. I'm the Director of Member Experience at Central Exchange. So we have some CX members on here, we have some guests on here, and we welcome everybody. And I'm really excited to introduce Sarah Yucatel. So Sarah's one of those people that I've kind of been casually connected with on social media. And then through this serendipitous sequence of events, we actually connected not face-to-face personally, but face-to-face virtually. And Sarah graciously offered to do her Potpourri of Self-Care. And she and I chatted a little bit yesterday, and let me tell you, I took action immediately after my call with Sarah and did some serious self-care. So I thank you for that. And without further ado, Sarah, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, well, thank you, Mona, and thanks, ladies, all for being here. It's great to see some familiar faces and some new faces today. But a little bit more about me. I am a leadership, a life, and career coach. So I do group presentations like this. I have been to the Central Exchange in the past. I also work with clients one-on-one. I see some of my past clients here today and some of my current clients that I'm working with as well. So it's great that you're able to attend, and also some gals who've come to my retreats. I also lead wellness retreats, and unfortunately I had to cancel my one in April due to everything that's going on, but I do have 2 more upcoming, so fingers crossed. I am also a certified yoga instructor, so these wellness retreats are a combination of yoga, meditation, self-care. They're all listed on my website on sarahuycoach.com, but 2 that are coming up this summer, and again, fingers crossed they will happen, will be a Celebrate retreat at the end of the summer on July 25th at the Elms in Excelsior Springs. And if you've never treated yourself to a day at the Elms, it's amazing. There's this great outdoor gazebo where we do yoga and meditation, and then we'll have lunch, and then we'll spend the afternoon learning about essential oils. And then there's a beautiful lavender farm just south of Kansas City in Bucyrus called Sweet Streams Lavender Farm. I'll be sharing a few of my products there, but I know Robin, who's on today, she came to lavender yoga last year, and it was just a beautiful day to be outside doing yoga and meditation and having lunch among the lavender. So anyway, those are just some fun things. A little bit more about me. I haven't always been a coach. I spent the first 18 years of my career in accounting, finance, and business consulting. I used to be a financial manager at Sprint. But about 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to work with a coach myself and started making a lot of changes personally and professionally, which prompted the pivot in my professional life. I went back to school to get my coaching training and certification. And 5 years ago, I graduated from Sprint in December of 2014, and I've been coaching full-time ever since. So again, I love what I do. I love empowering others to live their best life and do their ideal work. I'm very passionate about self-care. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And when Mona reached out to me, as you know, we were starting to kind of stay at home, and she asked me if I do a webinar, and we're just kind of brainstorming ideas. And I was like, how about just like a potpourri of self-care? She's like, I love it. So today, my intention is just to give you a little bit of everything. You know, some of my favorite things, if you will. And, but I would really like to, but I do want to make this fun and interactive. I know, feel free and drop messages in the chat, but I will also be opening up for questions as we move along. But I guess before we get started, any questions? No? Okay. Well, I would like to start with just a grounding meditation. And it is in your packet. It's called the Powerful I Am Statements. And I mean, now more than ever, it is so important to be able to quiet our minds and to quiet the noise, because there is so much going on. There's so much news. There's so much information. And I don't know about you, but it's like some days I just feel overwhelmed with everything that's going on. And, you know, but just being able to come back into the present moment, come back into, you know, where I am today is so important. So I welcome everyone just to come to a nice, comfortable seat. And you're welcome to close down your eyes and just focus on your breathing. Some long, deep inhales with long, slow exhales. If you'd like, you can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly to just really connect with your breathing, with your heart center. And as I lead you through this, again, it'll be a call and response. You don't have to take yourself off mute, but I do just encourage you to say the words back to me as I say them out loud. I am present. I am centered. I am calm. I am safe.
I am safe.
I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am nourished.
I am nourished.
I am happy. I am blessed. I am abundant. I am grateful. I am grace. I am mindful. I am aware. I am inspired. I am awakened. I am enlightened. I am enough. And again, just continue to focus in on your breathing. Just let these words resonate with you for a few more moments. And when you're ready, slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and blink open your eyes and come back into your space. So that is just a beautiful, just kind of grounding exercise. I find myself doing this on a daily practice. Now, you can create your own list of I am statements. These words really resonated with me and where we are right now. And I think it's just, coming back to I am healthy, I am safe, I am abundant, I am enough. Those are words that really resonate with me. Again, would love to get any feedback. I don't know if any of you practice meditation on a regular basis, if this is something new to you. Again, want to make this today fun and interactive, so feel free and ask questions. And I see someone is saying, I use the Calm app. Yes, that is a great app to use. Okay. Well, again, just wanted to shift into, the potpourri of self-care. When I think of self-care, I like to think of four main categories: our physical self-care, our emotional self-care, our mental self-care, and our spiritual self-care. With starting with the physical self-care, it's like I always like to use our cell phones as a battery gauge. It seems like now more than ever, we're so almost tethered to our technology. And we know it's like, okay, I need to plug my phone in, otherwise my phone's going to die and I won't be able to make my calls or check my emails. And we know when our phone's in the red, it tends to power down so much more quickly than when it's fully charged. So, but I really love to use this analogy with our energy in our own bodies. It's like, when you wake up, are you fully charged? And what are the things that, drain your energy throughout the day? So again, this is just being mindful of, those energy drains and how much we need to keep going. And now more than ever, it's so important to make sure we sleep and get that good, sound, restful sleep. Has anyone been having problems sleeping since, excuse me. So, doing a meditation before bed, is important. Also giving yourself permission to rest throughout the day. I mean, we are all at home. Excuse me, just got a tickle. So, I mean, honestly, full disclosure, in preparation for today, I mean, I took a 20-minute nap from 12:30 to 12:50 this afternoon. And because I'm like, I wanted to be fully present for all of you. And I know someone mentioned the Calm app. I use Insight Timer. There's ocean waves. So there's a great 20-minute ocean wave. So I listened, put that on and I just laid down for 20 minutes and I gave myself permission to rest. So, and I think that is one thing that's really important right now, like we give ourselves permission to take care of ourselves. And someone just said, I believe in power naps too. One other piece too, and I know I chatted with Mona about this yesterday. She was just saying that she just had a crazy day yesterday. It was a really busy Monday, and we connected, and I was like, oh, I'm going to bring props. So this is my first prop. Like, I love Epsom salts. I love to take Epsom salt baths. And that was one thing. Mona's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to give myself permission to take a bath. So Mona, would love to hear from you. How was your bath yesterday?
I had to find my unmute button.
Okay.
Sarah, I was so proud of myself. I actually did exactly what I committed to.
Great.
So it felt, it was short, but I felt revived. And number one, I think I was most proud of myself for just following through on something that I said I was going to do. So
good.
It was wonderful. Thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, when I went to Target, they have Himalaya sea salt, they have eucalyptus sea salt, they have lavender, and I also got a coconut bag when I went this weekend too. So again, just put a cup of Epsom salts in your bath. Epsom salt is great for just kind of removing toxins from your body. I've also noticed that my feet have been hurting a little bit because I've just been walking so much. I mean, it seems like that's our one main activity that we can do outside of our homes. So anyway, Epsom salt, I'm a big believer in those. Some other things for physical self-care, make sure you're eating the rainbow, mixing up your fruits and vegetables, include all the colors, drink your water. I've got my water right here. Take your vitamins, ensuring that we're doing everything that we can to, bolster our immune system so we stay healthy throughout this pandemic as well. Continue to be active, get up and stretch, getting outside every day. Is everyone getting outside? Show of hands, thumbs up, okay. I know it's good to keep our social distance from everyone, but, get outside. That's also good to change your energy, because I know sometimes, if you start thinking about something and sometimes one negative thought can lead to another negative thought and you get in this downward spiral, what can you do to stop that downward spiral and get out? Getting outside is great. I also love to create fun playlists. So like I have a fun morning playlist. I have another fun afternoon jam playlist. Those are great too. So And also streaming exercise and yoga classes. Those have been a godsend for me. And it's also a great way to check out other studios and workouts. I know for me, like I do this one workout, it's called Kalos. It's a combination of yoga and cardio. I also go to Maya Yoga. They're doing great drop-in class rates. So those are just a few things. I see some things in the chat. I'm just gonna pop up the chat and see if I can read these questions here. There's a question, is there a good number of I am statements to use? For me, I just like to be able to do it for, 2 to 3 minutes. So again, if it's, 10 to 20, I think that's good. Mona said she was sleeping like a log. Someone believes in power naps. Power naps, yes. Light rain is my jam. Getting outside, most days starting a garden. Someone said, I do need to get outside and move more. I walk 3 miles to the stadium close to my house. Awesome. More working hours since Corona, need to take breaks. Yes, that is something too, because, sometimes being in an office, it just would allow for some natural breaks. If you were, moving from meeting to meeting and you don't have, that transition time, make sure you have that. Also, make sure your children have that as well. I know I was working with one of my clients last week, and she was just saying she has twins that are 12, and just really struggling with getting them to stay focused and sit and do their work. And I was like, but would they typically sit for 3 hours? I'm like, wouldn't they have a class break at the top of every hour to move room? She's like, you're right. So they just started, she set on her phone an alarm. So whenever their classes would be up, so they would have a 3-minute break at the top of every hour to get up, to move, to stretch. So I would encourage you to do that too. Make sure that you have that kind of built in to your day as well. So someone else says running in the mornings. Okay, these are all great ideas. Anything else that you're doing to take care of yourself physically during this time? And you're welcome to pop it in the chat, or you can come off mute and share it with the group. Listening to podcasts. Yep, that's great. Okay, well, we're going to move on to emotional self-care. And for me, this has been a real struggle, social distancing. I am a natural extrovert. I do typically work at home, but it's like I like to go out and have lunch with friends. I like to be able to go to a yoga class. I like to go out to dinner with friends. I like to, celebrate. And my birthday is March 27th, and it was the first year that I haven't been able to have a big party. And so one of my friends, organized a Zoom birthday party for me, which was fun, not the same, but it was still a nice way to connect. FaceTiming has been good, calling. And the other thing too, it's just, remembering to laugh. And because this time it is, there is a lot going on, in our world, but it is also important to keep laughter flowing in your life too. Some other things, make sure you ask for help. Is there, some tasks that are just, too daunting? I know another one of my clients, when this first started, she's like, I just feel so overwhelmed because I feel like all the weight is on my shoulders now. Like, I'm responsible for the grocery shopping and the cooking and the cleaning. And now I'm responsible for my children's schooling. And I was like, well, can you ask your husband for help? Can you divide and conquer? And that is something, important to do. And it's also important to be able to, set healthy boundaries for yourself, knowing what your limits are. I know someone had mentioned in the chat, working more hours because of this. It's like, okay, again, just going back and like looking at those reasonable expectations for yourself, and, setting those breaks as you need to, and the other thing too, it's like, stop, don't should on yourself. That's one of my first phrases I learned as a coach. It was like, stop shoulding all over yourself. And because shoulds are just loaded with guilt, they're loaded with that obligation versus coming from a place of choice of like, I choose to work. I choose to take an hour out of my day to invest in this webinar. I choose to give myself permission to take a 15-minute Epsom salt bath. Coming from a place of choice is so much more powerful than a place of obligation. So that is one piece. Another piece too is expressing gratitude, taking time to write thank you notes. I know Jimmy Fallon is one of my favorite late night comedians, and his Friday night thank you notes have always been a big inspiration for me. And I love that he is still incorporating that. He's doing that with his girls at home, which is so fun. But taking time to write thank you notes, journal. This is one of my favorite journals I got this year. It's called the Super Attractor Journal by Gabrielle Bernstein. She's a great author. This is another great book. If you're looking for a new book to read, the Super Attractor. It's a great Audible as well. But again, it's like, what are the things that you're grateful for at the end of every day? What are the things that brought joy to your life today? What are the things that you appreciate about yourself? So I view gratitude as an outward expression and appreciation as an inward reflection. I mean, women especially, we're so hard on ourselves. We beat ourselves up for like the 1 to 3 things that we don't get done each day. But do we take time to acknowledge and appreciate ourselves for the 97 to 99 things that we do each and every day? So, taking time to, write in your appreciation journal. And if journaling's not your jam, but again, it's like as you're, getting ready for bed, brushing your teeth, just thinking like, what am I grateful for? What do I appreciate about myself? Someone just wrote in the chat, having a job as furloughs are happening at work right now. Yeah, that is something that is occurring. And, having that gratitude is so important. Another thing too, I shared with a client yesterday, having like a gratitude themed dinner. So you could do this with your family. Tonight at dinner, you could make up slips of paper with everyone's name on them and put them in a bowl, and then everyone can grab a slip of paper. And then tomorrow night at dinner, you write a note of gratitude to that family member. And then as you set the places, and everyone will start the dinner by opening their note of gratitude. So that's just another fun way to express gratitude. You could also create like a gratitude box, like create a shoe box in your home with like slips of gratitude or with slips of paper, and then encourage your family members to, write down what they're most grateful for. And then, Friday night, you could have a, Friday night celebration dinner, and you could read all the notes of gratitude out loud. That's another way to express gratitude. Or even just, if you're single, you could just, take time at the end of each day to send out some, gratitude text messages, or to, friends that have been there. Take time to write handwritten thank you notes, or pick up the phone and call a friend that has really stood by you, through this right now. So those are just some other ways. One of my favorite quotes is that the human heart cannot hold gratitude and negative emotion at the same time. So if you feel like you're in that negative space, what can you do to shift that? It's like, okay, who can I say thank you to? Who can I, send some love and gratitude to? So those are just some other pieces about gratitude. Also emotional self-care. It's so important to take time for you. The other thing, we're all just kind of, stuck at home. But last week I was like, I just wanted to go for a drive. Like I missed just like driving my car. So I live in Prairie Village. So instead of going to the, Target closest to me, I just hopped on Shawnee Mission Parkway, and I like drove out to the Target in Shawnee, and I went out there. And I was like, I just needed some space. I just wanted to drive for a little bit. And then I, drove down the next day, like southern Johnson County, and I went for a walk there. So, what can you do to, still, be within the social distancing guidelines, but get out. So those are just some other things too. Also with, taking time for you, I mentioned the Epsom salt baths, using essential oils. Again, Sweet Streams Lavender Farm, I have it in the notes too. But they've got these great little roll-ons for $10 of lavender. Like, I roll it behind my neck, I roll it on my wrists, and at night I roll it on the bottom of my feet. I know it sounds weird, but it just helps me sleep. So they're great. I love their products. Some other things, like they have these lavender citrus soy candles. So I put in like one of my Scentsies, and it's just a great way to, have great smelling scents in my house. They also have a linen spray that I spray on my pillow before I go to bed at night. They have these amazing eye pillows too. So again, it's like if you just need a little de-stress, you can lay down and put on your lavender eye pillow. They're doing free shipping right now, which is amazing. So Sweet Streams Lavender Farm, if you need any lavender products, I highly recommend them. But again, would love to kind of hear from you. Yeah, Robin said that lavender spray is amazing. Yes. What else are you doing for emotional self-care right now? Again, you're welcome to come off mute and share or pop it in the chat.
This is Mona. I'll share one thing. I have a very extended family throughout 4 time zones. So we've made a commitment for weekly Zoom calls on Sunday.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's so fun because I talk to most of these people individually, but we don't all get on the same call at the same time. So we are having a ball on our family.
Oh, great. Yeah, I mean, this time it is good to, reconnect. And I love that you're doing it on a weekly basis. Would anyone else like to share one thing that they're doing? Baking for loved ones, yes. Okay, I'm going to shift on to mental self-care. Now, again, it's just, trying to keep the same schedule is great. Again, setting those clear expectations with your family. I know a lot of us are, working from home, doing school at home, but it's also, creating that good environment of, okay, where can I be effective working from home? Again, I've had some clients that literally make pieces of paper that says, mom's working, and, putting it behind their laptop, or like, mom's on a call right now, and, setting those clear expectations and knowing it's like, okay, these are work hours and these are play hours and fun hours, or this is when we need to be in school and this is when we can take breaks. So again, having those expectations. Something else too, reviewing your budget is so important. Getting really clear on what are your fixed expenses versus your variable expenses. And, just creating that financial awareness of like, okay, where's your money going? And again, it's like, what are you saving right now? It's like, are you saving money on gas? Are you saving money on entertainment? Are you saving money, in other areas? But I know, because this time can, put a lot of financial stress on, especially it's like, if you are cutting back at work, if you are going to be furloughed, those are some things too. So again, it's just like, what are some things that you can do to some little things. I know someone just put in the chat, going to Sonic to get, the happy hour drinks in the afternoon. That is a great way to love reading the meditation and devotionals, taking time to breathe in God's love and breathe out the icky stuff. Again, it's like, what are those things that you can really let go of? What are the things that are no longer serving your highest good right now? Listening to empowering podcasts. Again, I mentioned Gabrielle Bernstein. Here are some of my other favorites. Oh, like this is something else. Louise Hay. I love anything from Hay House. Like, these are her power thought cards. These are just a great little gift So these are fun things, like they have cards like My Life Works Beautifully. The point of power is always in the present moment. Again, it's like, where are we at today? What can we control today? So anything from Hay House. Let's see some other books. I love Outrageous Openness by Tosha Silver. This is a great read. Jen Sincero, she's written the You Are a Badass series. So this is You Are a Badass at Making Money. She has just the You Are a Badass, and another one that I've listened to on Audible is like You Are a Badass Every Day. Again, it's like those daily reminders, and a lot of the pieces that I'm sharing with you right now, again, it's hopefully nothing is like new, but it's like, okay, what are the reminders? What are the habits that you may have like fallen out of that you can fall back into during this time? Some of my other favorite books that I'm reading right now, it's like Do Your Own Thing by Rebecca Pachero. So this is just incorporating yoga into your everyday life. This is just another fun book. And then, this is my all-time favorite. Journey to the Heart by Melody Beatty. I don't know if you can see, but it's like all tattered, but it's like all the pages are earmarked. But again, like daily inspiration. These are just some of the things that I love to use. But again, would love to hear from you. Daily inspiration, mental self-care. Let's see. I stole from, I'm just a little bitty bunny working on my issues, trying to do my best. That's right. The Good Life Project. Great. The other thing too with mental self-care, it's okay to give yourself permission to disconnect from technology. Again, quieting that mind chatter. I know for me, when it seemed like it was the first week that, all of this was happening, I wanted to watch as much news as I can. I wanted to be as informed as I could. And then I found myself, awake at 3 a.m. I was like, I can't sleep. Because it was just so much was just going through my mind. And for me personally, it's like, I don't watch the 10 o'clock news now because it's just too much information for me. So it's like, I will watch the 5:30 national news or the 6 o'clock local news to get, my feed for the day. But again, that's just me and what is working well for me. So I guess, I just share that with you. And again, would love to hear from you on, some of your mental self-care best practices during this time. Or also if there's anything that you're really struggling with, again, would love to be able to help you overcome any challenges that you're facing right now. Okay, someone said, I stopped watching the news in the morning. I needed to start my day on a positive note. Great.
I think that's exactly it. It's like you want to stay informed, but it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much.
So Robin, what are you doing to balance that?
I've been cooking a lot. Well, of course you have to, right? But it's nice. It's been a nice challenge to vary it up and stay healthy. And I think the good news out of this is I've got a lot more dishes that I'll be able to take that I probably wouldn't have figured out because I didn't have the time.
Good. Great. Someone else said that they turned off the news alerts on my phone. Someone said sleep is my biggest struggle right now. So yeah, so with that, with sleep, do you have a going to bed routine? How many of you, do you have a nightly ritual?
This is Mona again. You mentioned somebody mentioned the Calm app. I also use the Insight Timer. And there are 2 Yoga Nidra meditations that I alternate back and forth between. And then there's a local gentleman by the name of Joshua Anasio who has some sound meditations on the Insight Timer app that I love too. So between those 3 or 4, love it.
Was that your meditation? Is that your ding? Was that you, Mona?
Unfortunately, it was a text coming through.
Oh.
Embarrassed to say, but
okay, because I was like, oh, maybe you were just demonstrating one of the sounds on the
I wish
Timer
that was
app.
the truth, but I cannot tell a lie.
Okay. So yeah, having that going to bed routine, if it is, turning everything off at least 20 minutes before you go to bed, if it's, praying, if it's, reading the Bible, if it's, doing a meditation. I know Mona mentioned Insight Timer. That's one of my favorite apps as well. There are over 40,000 free guided meditations on there. There are daily meditations or morning meditations. There's evening meditations. As I mentioned, they have great sounds. I know someone else mentioned Calm. I know Headspace is another popular one as well. But again, giving yourself that permission to really quiet your mind. Some other pieces with spiritual self-care, being able to stream church services. I know I attended Easter Mass online, but it's also fun to go back and, find hometown services or services of other places that you've lived or visited. I know there's a great church in Sioux City, Iowa that I've been following their services as well. Again, taking more time to listen to the audiobooks, drinking calming tea. The roastery here in Kansas City, I know they're known for their coffee, but they also have a very amazing, it's a spearmint lavender tea. I think you can buy it online right now too, but I had some of that before I went to bed last night and I slept so great. It's just it's very calming for me. Again, just allowing yourself to power down before you go to bed at night. Maybe doing some restorative yoga. One of my favorite poses is called Legs Up the Wall. I have a video on my Facebook page on sarahuycoach.com on how to get into that, but I can, Legs Up the Wall, you sit down on your floor closest to a wall, and then you prop your legs up. So it's like you're in an inverted L. So like my fingers would be my toes, and then my wrist would be my head. And again, just anytime you have your feet above your heart, it's just very calming for your nervous system. So even doing, 10 minutes of legs up the wall before you go to bed, you can put a towel on. If you have, an eye pillow, anything that you can do just to calm your nervous system down and relax, because we have over 80,000 thoughts every single day. And of those, 80% of them are the same thoughts we had the day before, and 80% of those are negative. So if you think of your brain like a farmer plowing a field, and you continue to feed your mind with those negative messages, that's automatically where your mind is going to do, especially in times of stress and anxiety, which I feel like we're all kind of in that heightened stage right now. So again, anything you can do to calm down before you go to bed, just to help you to get that restful night's sleep, would be good as well. So again, want to open it up for questions. I do have another guided meditation I'd like to lead you through, and then we can do some more questions after that. Anyone like to share anything? Any questions?
Sarah, could you repeat those statistics on thoughts?
Oh, sure. And I get this, my information from the Chopra Center, Deepak Chopra, his center out in Carlsbad, California. So we have over 80,000 thoughts every day. 80% of those are negative. 80% of those are the same thoughts we had the day before. And then it's like, if you think of your brain like a farmer plowing a field, that's automatically where your mind's going to go, especially in times of stress and anxiety. But it's like through meditation, you can really learn to calm your mind and replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. So on that note, I would love to lead you through another 4-minute guided meditation. So again, this one will be different. I'll ask you a series of questions, and you just notice what thoughts come up for you as I ask these questions, but there are no wrong answers. So again, just coming to that comfortable seated position, or hopefully most of you still are. Again, just closing down your eyes, focusing on your breathing. Again, if you want one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, I invite you to do that. First question. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What do I really want? What do I really want? What do I really want? How can I serve? How can I serve? How can I serve? And again, when you're ready, slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and blink open your eyes. You're welcome to jot down any notes, any thoughts that came to you through meditation. But again, just even giving yourself permission to close down your eyes, give yourself 4 minutes to rest, to reset, to refocus. And again, I invite you to share if you would like, if anything came up for you in meditation, or if meditation is new for you. If you have any questions about it.
This is Mona. I feel like I'm doing most of the sharing, but I know it's a safe group out there. One of the things that came up for me that really resonates with me, and it's something I know, but I need to continue to honor, is how important routine is to me.
Mm,
And not just routine of the things we know we have to do every day, but I work best under a very not loose time structure, but one where I have my activities planned out throughout the day. And
mm-hmm,
I want to make sure that I don't allow other people's influence to impact my effectiveness and productivity. And that's
mm-hmm.
something that really I allow to shake me a little bit more than I should. So
Okay.
I just want to honor my routines and know that I'm doing what's right for me, I guess. That surprisingly came up during that short meditation just now.
Good. Well, that's great awareness. So I guess, Mona, how can you continue to balance that going forward?
I think for me, it's setting clear expectations,
Mm-hmm.
just, with ease and grace, letting, whether it's my sister calling or a friend needing something, or, it's like, absolutely, but I can do it on not my time frame, not
Mm-hmm.
unless there's a burning bridge, obviously.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So I think the awareness and to do it with grace and ease
Right.
is important to me.
Mm-hmm. Good. And I think it's also so important to give ourselves that grace and ease too,
Yes.
and honoring ourselves. One piece I didn't mention yet in the presentation is, the image of self-care is, really that image of putting your oxygen mask on first before helping others. So again, it's like, we want to serve others, we want to be there for others, but it's like, it's also important to make sure, we're fully charged, our battery life, we're in the green, and not in the red too. So it's like, as you feel yourself, starting to power down, what is it that you need? So, as we've talked through all these different self-care tips and tricks, I encourage you to create your own self-care menu. What are your favorite things? And, create a list. And then, every day you can, if you post it on your fridge, if you have it on a bulletin board, um, in your office or on your phone, it's like, have that. It's like, what do I want to order off of my self-care menu today? Do I want to order off, a 20-minute walk outside, just me, with no music? I just want to listen to the sounds of nature. Or I want to give myself a 20-minute nap today. Or an Epsom salt bath sounds amazing. Or, there's a, yoga class that's streaming at 6 o'clock tonight. I really want to tune into that. Something else too. So again, creating that list of your favorite things so you have them, so you're not just like, I'm frazzled, I need help. Like, okay, what do you have the power? What is at your fingertips? What, looking around your home, what are things that you already have that you can use to support you during this time? So again, create your own self-care menu. Someone else said lighting a candle. Yes, lighting a candle is a great self-care practice too. Ooh, which one is that, Mona? Do you have a favorite
So
scent?
yeah, the company is Lulu Candles,
Ooh,
and it's spiced vanilla. So I
ooh,
keep this
yum.
on my desk, and it was burning earlier today, but
Okay,
yeah, love those.
great.
I just got online and ordered 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get one for me, Robin? That's so
So all out of the
sweet.
spice. They're amazing. Mona turned me on to them. If anybody's looking for a good candle, it's long.
Okay,
It's awesome.
okay, great.
You're welcome.
Another thing that for me this weekend, my son and daughter-in-law and my little grandson brought over fresh flowers. But I think that's just a reminder that, bring nature in and just, celebrate. I think it's with the cold snap, it's nice to have that inside feel of nature. And of
Right.
course, it was a special visit and I got the longest little hug from my grandson. So yeah,
Oh,
those are always nice and warming.
great.
And this sounds so silly, but I had a produce delivery yesterday from Whole Foods. And so I can see into my kitchen from here. I have this gorgeous it's apples and those big yummy oranges and a couple bananas, and just having that well, I guess it's not quite living fruit since it's off the vine, but just being able to see that fresh produce.
That visual display. I love it. It's like artwork in your kitchen too.
It is.
Great. Well, I would love just to be able to go around and hear from each of you, maybe one thing that you're walking away with out of the session today, one tip or one reminder or one something new that you've learned. Again, we learn from each other. So again, thank you to those who have shared. And again, if you want to come off camera, you don't have to come off camera. You can type it in the chat, but I would just really love to hear from each of you, maybe one thing that you're that you're walking away with, one thing you're going to take action on. April said, I really love the I am statements. Great.
I really love the note about don't should on yourself.
Yes. Kim loves the self-care menu. Oh, hi, Leslie.
Hi. I was just going to say mine would be some adjustment to my sleep, because I'm the one that wrote. I'm really, as you can see, I'm struggling with sleep. I'm just constantly tired. So.
Yeah, again, like legs up the wall would be great for you.
Okay.
Any incorporation of lavender, meditation.
Doing lavender tea, and I've been doing lavender tea, and I have the Calm app, which I love.
Okay.
It seems like the big struggle is dreams, and just I wake up a lot and I can't get back to sleep. Just all these thoughts, and oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, something that I know when I've struggled with that, it's just the mantra is I give myself permission to go back to sleep. And I just say that over again. It's like, I give myself permission to go back to sleep.
Yeah, I need something. Yeah, because the racing thoughts and yeah.
And it's like, this is my time to sleep.
Right. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely.
I like the create the manual of self-care, and I think giving, reminding ourselves that self-care is mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. I think that's something I need to really resonate around, that I kind of get, thinking it's just the emotional, mental piece, and obviously physical is always out there, but just a kind of a refreshing reminder, and a kind of a toolkit that says you don't have to do the same thing every day.
Right.
I think that's part of it. It's like I'm new at meditation, so it's just not part of my routine. I want it to be, but I think I need to be more intentional about it.
Great. Well, yeah, at my retreats, we do dive in deeper into self-care and doing like daily, weekly, monthly, annual self-care plans too. So, would love for you to come to a retreat. Again, fingers crossed, they will happen in July and August. Again, all my information is on my website, on sarayoucoach.com. I also do a free monthly coaching newsletter that you can sign up for. I also do daily inspirational posts on my Facebook page. Again, it's just Sarah You Coach. Again, if there anything else I can do to support you, just as a thank you for everyone for attending today. If you would like to schedule, I'm offering complimentary 30-minute one-on-one sessions, either via Zoom or over the phone or FaceTime. Again, just message me on my, I'm just sarayoucoach@gmail.com. My information's on the packet. Anything that I can do to support you now during this pandemic. I'm here, so just feel free and reach out. And again, any last minute thoughts or comments? I know we're just a few minutes before we close.
Sarah, this is Dawn. Can you hear me?
Who's ever speaking, if you could speak up, I can't hear you.
Sarah, it's Dawn. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
hi, Dawn. Can you turn your volume up?
Should I talk louder? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to just say two things. One, thank you. And the world always needs more. Coach Sarah Yucatil.
Thanks.
And two, during this time and this pandemic and this time of stress, we need you even more. So thank you very, very much for doing this.
Well, thank you, Dawn. I'm so happy you could join
and
today.
you're going to mail me $20, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Sarah's been my coach forever and I love her. So good to see you.
Yes. Yes, great to see. Yes. How's your vision board? Dawn came to my Vision 2020 retreat this year.
Oh, it is great. I had a two-sided one, and the way I've hung it, it's flipped to one side. So I think that's telling me something. So it was really, I love it. So I see the same little phrase every day, which is really
Awesome.
motivated me.
Yay. Well, thank you for being here, Dawn.
Yes, and Dawn, it was good to see you. I look forward to chatting with you in a couple days. Dawn will be doing a presentation webinar for Central Exchange in the very near future. We're going to be talking about the details. So.
Awesome.
Well, Sarah, I want to take this time to, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your tips. Thank you for your reminders that midday Epsom salt baths are
Yes.
And even with my boss on the phone, I'll say that. So, I do, before anybody else logs off, I want to let you know that you'll be getting a email questionnaire with a link to this webinar. So if you could take a moment to let us know what you thought, and then feel free to give us any comments you have on any other suggestions for people that you would like to hear from on recordings. And if anybody needs the document again that Sarah sent out, it should be in the chat, but we're happy to email that out separately. So Sarah, blessings. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining me today. And again, just, one other quote I did want to leave you with. If we don't take time for our wellness, our illness will become our priority.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
I know that is a pretty powerful statement, especially during this time. So again, if we don't take time for our wellness, our illness will become a priority. So again, stay healthy, stay well, stay safe, stay connected. Again, please feel free and reach out. If there's anything I can do to support you, please let me know.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. Thank you, Mona. Thanks, ladies.
Thank
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.